We all have bad moments in life. In many cases, they do not really upset us. Many of them can shock or even amuse us. When you look at it, it seems obvious that some things or behavior will inevitably lead to incidents. However, people are not really ready to face them when it happens to them. In this episode, I will show you the most ridiculous situations that were captured on camera just in time. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss even more interesting episodes. Apparently, the man thought that the age restrictions were just a bluff and existed so that the adults would not have the opportunity to have fun. This situation looks almost hopeless. The only thing that can help him avoid damage to the car is someone's intervention and assistance. It cannot be said that the blow was unsuccessful. It depends on the expected result. When something like this happens, the first reaction is shock, but then you immediately realize that you can't do anything about it now, and you continue to do your own business. One can do a lot of things for a great video. I must admit, it turned out to be beautiful. Fortunately, modern technology allows sellers to be less vigilant and save on security. The guy got tired of waiting for a friend and decided to help him quench his thirst faster. Are you also wondering what was inside the store? As you can see, the girl had to change her path and she could not even think about the presence of a glass. No wonder they say that money is attracted to money. Why would you reach your work by transport if you could do it by swimming? The master may not be the most skillful, but his instinct for self-preservation is excellent. It happens that the more you show off your skills and mastery of ship management, the more failure accompanies you. As the folk wisdom says, stubbornness pays off. These madmen who have seen enough Hollywood blockbusters and decided that they can also drive their boats. He can safely give lessons on how to ruin a motorcycle in a few seconds. As you can see, not only people worry about their appearance, this giraffe also decided to check if anything was stuck in its teeth before going out. When the stupid and the dumbest decided to try their hand at stealing, the chances that everything will go smoothly are small. Even if they do not have time to catch them, it is unlikely that they will already be able to profitably sell the stolen. Is it even possible that he didn't think about what jumping on ice leads to? This kind of antics usually ends the same way. As they say, the thief can always be seen by their behavior. After such a fiasco, a man should come to the conclusion that shoplifting is not up to him. I'm shocked that while performing the exercise with a huge bottle of water, he never thought of something like this. It would seem that it could be easier than taking a selfie. However, even such a task can fail in the most inappropriate place. It's so sad to look at this teamwork while the captain only complicates everything. And this is a very unusual way to get rid of excess cargo on a yacht. Have you ever seen a seaplane being transported? I can't even believe that this part of the car is capable of dragging it to the land. Of course, a marriage proposal in an unusual setting is especially romantic, but do not expect that everything will go smoothly. On the other hand, their first kiss will be remembered forever. There is a limit to everything. At some point, such a large load became unaffordable for the horse. The desire to gain independence and freedom sometimes leads to disastrous consequences. An unpleasant combination of circumstances may have caused a dent in the car, but it also showed us that there will always be people ready to help. Many people do not even know how to get into the boat correctly. Well, this person manages to control 6 at once. The distribution of cargo should not adversely affect the structural strength of the vessel. Otherwise, the consequences can be very unfavorable. Any unexpected change in the speed and trajectory of the boat can play a cruel joke on those in the front. Collided with truly gigantic waves in the ocean. It seems that a fierce storm will engulf the ship along with all the crew members. What an unusual way to become the culprit of an accident. The girl became a victim of the boomerang effect. He definitely wanted to effectively jump over the swamp, and although everything may not have gone according to plan, he definitely fell very spectacularly. We have found the chef who deserves an award. People most likely underestimate the social life of cats, but obviously their world is not so simple. The goats seem to be waiting for the call, which marked the arrival of the guests and the end of their entertainment at home. These are people who run around the supermarket in search of some tiny thing while being nervous that they can't find it. Stealing is also a certain kind of art. Not everyone can succeed in it. The wind was so strong that it almost deprived him of dinner. And yet, he followed the rule. If the food was on the ground for less than 5 seconds, then it can be safely consumed. While choosing clothes for work, you should not only try to emphasize your strengths, but avoid creating a look that might be too hot. The Japanese people managed to perfectly organize more than 600,000 guests at the world's largest comic book fair in Tokyo. Perhaps he had dreamed of a submarine all his life and forgot that a motorboat was not ready for immersion in water. Overloading the boat, it should be remembered that the probability that it will not survive is high. It is unlikely that the rental company was aware of their client's plans. When you call a hungry friend to a gourmet restaurant, you cannot expect that he will appreciate the beautiful presentation of the dish. Unexpected guests are not always welcome, but karma clearly shows that you can't close the door in front of a person, and you need to be more welcoming. The dexterity of the dog is amazing. The owner did not even have time to understand what happened while it managed to finish everything. What guides a person who is trying to save money by entering paid parking? Especially considering the fact that polishing scratches on the car will obviously cost more. They still have a lot of hours of water treatments and searching for ways to wash off the paint. When it's already impossible to repair your TV, why wouldn't you give it to a child to have some fun? Staying on the roadway is not an issue to greet an acquaintance if this meeting is pleasant. Hairdressers have to spend many hours of working time standing, so high heels are not the best choice for such work. It is no wonder that it is more convenient for a girl to work sitting down. Mooring is not an easy matter, although motorists seem to be more concerned about the structural damage and scratches. This case can be used as a vivid example of how to ruin a yacht in a few seconds. This small ship seems to be a toy when the strongest gusts of wind change its direction. In life, we do not always achieve what we want. Sometimes failures are all we have. Are you also wondering what kind of malfunction prevented him from sailing even half a meter from the pier, and because of what the boat went down? Until the moment when the rescue operation looks successful, never try to transport something by boat that is several times heavier and larger than itself. After such a show to enter the car, if he ever wants to take 2 parking spaces, he will definitely remember this case. If you've always wondered how luggage can get lost at the airport, here's a great example. They will not be able to weigh the next fish now. Attentiveness is important even for passengers, otherwise you can suffer a lot. In case of an accident, passengers of ships are advised to learn evacuation routes in advance, as well as to check where life jackets and lifeboats are located. However, due to the fact that serious situations happen not that often, people usually neglect this. As a result, panic and chaos reigned on the liner when the disaster happened. In this case, it is important to remain calm in order to do everything possible and still get to the land. The captain confidently chose a shortcut. It was a huge mistake. Now he'll have to think about how to get out of this situation for a long time. The main way not to get hurt when a boat sinks is not to panic and stay calm. The girl quickly realized that she needed to get rid of unnecessary things and climbed onto the surviving part of the boat. They managed to keep their balance for a while, yet they inevitably collapsed into the water. This guy wanted a thrill and went straight to the big wave. It was a huge mistake, yet he remained unharmed. If there will be further attempts to get the balls and if they will change tactics. Feel like a gentleman and save the girl from the water failed. On the other hand, it's good that they were unharmed. Guy did not doubt for a second that he was right, but apparently fate decided otherwise. He wasn't trying too hard since his trick was discovered by other people that easily. When you return home in the morning in the outfit that was worn for the previous evening, there is no way to avoid curious glances. It seems that someone is prone to increased anxiety. It is unclear who was more scared, the bear who expected to rest, or the owner of the house when he met such an unexpected guest. Such a thorny path from home can lead not to work, but straight to the emergency room. When the day starts like this, you can't get rid of thoughts about more upcoming issues. There is a stereotype about the aggressiveness and iron grip of pit bulls. However, just look at how this dog saves a chihuahua that accidentally fell into the pool. Someone has seen too many superhero movies and found out that before committing some kind of trick, you need to get rid of the camera. The police would be happy to finish the registration of the incident and go home, but even before finishing the previous case, they immediately became unwitting witnesses of another one. It may seem that you have an angel growing up, you have a polite and non-confrontational child, but then one video will destroy all your illusions. In just a few seconds, the driver managed to lose several vital parts of the car and park perfectly. This is a good example of why it is better to fix breakdowns in the house right away. Not only was the dog seriously scared and almost injured, but repairs will cost more. According to statistics, the number of thefts is growing every year. Therefore, supermarket guards vigilantly monitor all categories of customers. Often, attractive girls turn out to be thieves. At first glance, they cannot be accused of such an intention. It turns out that the courier's good mood is an important factor in how appetizing your dinner will look. Maybe because of this incident, he won't want to drink beer for a long time. On the other hand, he will need to relax after a lot of time spent washing the drink. In a house full of people, it's hard to find a place to be alone with yourself. It seemed to the girl that she could finally relax, but it was not the case. One wrong move and luck turned away from him. It became clear how flimsy the design of these shelves was. Now he'll be busy for a couple of hours more. For some reason, some people think that road signs are not for them. It happens that such confidence can destroy their expensive car. The self-confidence of this guy can be envied, but think twice before going on board. You have to be very brave and desperate to swim in such water. To catch such a fish, you need to try very hard. The fisher must be prepared for the fact that the marlin does not give up quickly and can fight for its freedom for hours. The basic principles of laying and properly securing cargo on a water vessel were the last thing the crew was interested in before going to sea. Didn't he really have a thought that his engine might stall for a second? There are definitely no professionals and real lovers of the sea here. Only losers would stay calm and not even worry about minimal security. The audience rejoices while watching the sinking of this vessel. Don't any of them really think about how much disposal harms the environment? Aerodynamics was not his favorite subject to study. There can also be a lot of vessels on the water, but it is much more dangerous than on the roads because waves and wind play a big role here. If you suffer from seasickness, never agree to such a way of time spending. And now you can see how thousands of dollars were spent in a matter of seconds. If you want to test yourself for stress resistance and love risk, you need to choose him as your captain. It seems that the girls decided to be 3 sheets to the wind. Luckily for them, they used safety vests. Showing off on a jet ski and creating chaos around, you can anger karma and become a real loser. They say that slow but sure wins the race. The girls obviously do not agree with this statement. As a result, they lost their motor and their holiday will definitely be delayed. Helping others is a commendable activity, but it is important not to miss the moment when you need to help yourself. This is the worst advertisement for this kind of device. If you want to keep cows in a particular place, do not buy such a fence. Working as a courier, you constantly encounter different people, but he certainly did not expect such a turn of events. Cutting a pizza with a special knife is a simple matter, and yet mistakes can happen. Perhaps the owners did not know that they had a thief before installing the camera. This guy's instincts worked perfectly, and the adrenaline in his blood contributed to the manifestation of superpowers. In the summer heat, even a bear wants to freshen up a little. It used the chance and took a masterly dip in the pool. Just a few seconds and the fans of the Croatian football team turn into professionals in their field. We can witness some real firefighters here. This is a perfectly planned crime. In just 45 seconds, 6 cars were stolen. When you use similar pads to hide your baldness, there is always a danger of being in a very awkward position. This mount turned out to be not the most reliable, and now they will have to spend a lot of time to fix the situation. That's why they say that a good workman does not quarrel with his tools. At the same time, I would be afraid of calling him to my home. Being in the air is not as difficult as gracefully landing. Unfortunately for him, such entertainment also attracted the attention of everyone around him. This system looked logical and perfect, but something went wrong. Thrown into the sea means that you will return to this place. Perhaps this girl's bag wanted to guarantee that. If they hadn't been playing with fire, they wouldn't have lost an expensive drone.
Lan yavaş lan! Oğlum alsana! Lan alsana Furkan!